What did you do?
Be careful!
Hello, my Fox Nights. I'm Fox. I just finished season 2, and apparently there's gonna be a season 3 of Sonic Prime. Spoilers, I guess. But God, and even like, here's the thing. Like, even this was just I just watched because I finished working, got home, immediately just started watching like the entire season. And I'll say this right now, just the first episode of this alone was like, I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I watched like a mini movie like real quick. Like, holy shit, it's so good. But like, I love this on multiple levels because watching this, there's characters that pop up in this where I'm like, where they're like saying, yes, we need someone who thinks like him, who can move like him. And I'm thinking, no, you wouldn't. I assumed at the end, but it turns out no, we're gonna get season 3. God, if they better. I was like, no, you can't do that, can you? Will you? I was like, oh boy, I'm trying to see if I have, because I have a figure of him. I just don't know if it's where I put it. But I'm like, you wouldn't, would you? And I was like, oh boy. And then, yeah, so, and then also not to mention, like, we get some really good Shadow in this, which, other than Sonic X, I know in Sonic Boom he does appear in it, but I don't know how well it's done in Sonic Boom. I actually haven't seen that part. I've only seen, like, clips and bits of it. I love Shadow in this. Shadow is so good. Like, he is, like, edgy, yeah. But you also get his motives. But you also, another thing that I actually kind of like about this, and maybe it's just my idea of, like, found family and shit like that. Like, if Tails is Sonic's little brother, Shadow is, like, the brother that's, like, almost the same age, if not older. And just can't stand his shit. And it's honestly really funny. Like, these two, like, go at it a lot. And pretty much, like, Shadow, and also, like, oh man, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of it. Pretty much Shadow, the first episode, it straight says he found where Sonic originally shattered the crystal, and that ghost I think they called it Phantom Hill or Ghost Hill, which is their original world, but it's like not diluted. It's dark pretty much. Like their friends are like holograms. The crystal that was there, what was it called? The prismatic prism is shattered, and like there's a blueprint. They're like, okay, this is how you have to set the crystal. And like, again, the friends are all holograms. And like, they just keep constantly repeating their thing. And it's honestly really heartbreaking seeing. So there's a lot of good like character bits in this, and I love it, especially with the whole idea of like using the multiverse or the Shatterverse in this case. Which even then, like here's the thing, I'm like, I know. Technically speaking, they're supposed to say like, yeah, this is straight off the games. I'm gonna go ahead and say, kind of like it's definitely based off the games, but I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, this is the same Sonic from that timeline. No, for multiple reasons. One, Archie already did that, and not saying like, oh, the Archie comics, the main Prime Sonic. No, but Archie Sonic actually did like this whole Spider-Verse thing before Spider-Verse, even before the comics of visiting alternate zones. There's a point. They did a version where he met like alternate versions of himself from different timelines, like Sailor Moon timeline, Fantastic Four timeline, all that stuff. And then later on, he met not only, I think I probably said this last time, he met not only his alternate self, he met his brother Sonia, his sister Sonia, and his brother Manic from Sonic Underground. I love that comic so much. I have it somewhere. I know I do. It's probably in my library somewhere. But like, I love that shit. Archie, I'm not saying, no, I love IDW shit right now. The IDW stuff is actually really good. But I am going to say, like, Archie, some of Archie stuff I really, really liked. That, you really get, like, even though I'm pretty sure Sonic didn't start in the Golden Age, you get, like, Golden Age type stories with that shit. And it's actually really fun. Or Silver Age, I guess. But, that being said, I also like the Blueprint shoes. Pretty much this sets up the whole thing where Sonic is going to have to obviously get the prisms again. Or actually have to get the prisms, because last season, whenever he touched them, it would immediately teleport him away to another world, or like, what I was it? He's usually back to New York, and then he gets sent to another world. Shadow's like, alright, well, what we have to do is get all the prisms and everything. But Shadow, first off, is like, you know, or let's see.
Like Tails. He's just a little angsty. That's
Oh yeah, I like this.
no.
I like this too because again, like I brought up the whole brother thing with Sonic and Shadow. Sonic and Nine in this. There's so many good scenes of Sonic being overprotective big brother and Tails being the enthusiastic, loving like little brother who looks up to his big brother in this, and for Nine. And it's so good, especially because Nine is like more of a serious character, kind of dull, not dull, like, you know, angry emo-esque character. But when you see that childishness of his admiration for Sonic, it's so good. Like, this is one of the scenes, at least for Sonic.
Bring them back here and connect them to this one, this real one. Then maybe.
Yeah, that could work. It has to work. We gotta show Nine. He's like super smart. He knows a ton about prism energy.
No.
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 Why no? I just said he's like super smart.
He can't be trusted.
What are you talking about? Of course he can. He's just like Tails. He's just a little angsty, that's all.
Also, I do love that, like, his shoes, like, without, like, really needing to bring up to it. If you look at his shoes whenever he's near prisms, they start doing, like, the shifting colors thing, which is kind of cool.
No, he's not Tails. He's Nine. And they're not your real friends.
Dude, he's real. This is his reality. And you know what else is real?
Also, I feel like Shadow kind of took that a little bit personally. The idea of, like he's saying, like, you know, he's not Tails, he's Nine. And, like, because, you know, Shadow's whole thing is, you know, this is who I am. So him, like, kind of registering, like, look, that guy is not Tails. He's whoever the hell he is. Like, I feel like that's in a sense of telling Sonic, warning Sonic that, but also being, like, you know, that little bit of Shadow that's like, you know, he's who he is.
Nine's tech on my kicks and punching sticks. So back up off Nine.
See? That big brother energy right there. I love it.
Okay, look. What matters right now...
Is it?
Okay, I can see how you might think that.
Oh, wait, hold on. Because there's even...
Bring them back here, and then we...
That's
He's talking about getting all the crystals.
not the plan.
Wait, dude, not the plan? I'm totally...
Wait.
He's real. This is his reality.
Hold on.
And you know what else is real? Nine's tech on my kicks and punching sticks.
God, I love that.
So back up off Nine.
It's talking about to throw hands with Shadow over Nine.
Okay, look. What
I
matters
love
right
Shadow.
now is that I get the shards. I'll bring them back here, and then we...
That's not the plan.
Wait, dude, not the plan? I'm totally confused. I thought a moment ago you said...
Sonic, you literally broke our world.
I just love it.
Why would I trust you to do anything?
Okay.
And here's the thing, and like, there's, you know, the whole idea of, you know, Sonic and Shadow being rivals and making it like that. I like this too because Shadow does bring up points. Like, you already screwed up. How the hell am I going to trust you?
Hey, I can see how you might think that, but...
God, the music.
Your turn is over. I'm taking the tech and I'm going after the shards myself.
No way! Hey, Shadow! I know what you're capable of, and that's not gonna happen.
I love that that's implying straight away that Shadow would just start killing people just to get what he wants.
Nine and all the rest of them are real. So the only only way you're taking my tech is over my dead.
He's funny that he thinks Shadow wouldn't do it.
You could have at least let me finish what I was going to say.
And it pretty much is a fight for the tech, which I'm not gonna lie, I love this bit right here. I think it's right here, yeah. Is it right here? I think it is.
That's 3 to go.
The dude bit his hand to rip off the tech. I love Shadow because that's just so damn. I don't know. For me, it just feels so damn feral. The idea of him just having it in his mouth.
That's 3 to go.
Also, I want replicas of those things. Those would be cool, like little things like you can attach to stuff.
Want it back? Come and get.
God, like that alone. The poses in this show are so good too. I'm gonna go through most of the series. I just wanted to go through this scene again real quick. Look at that. That's such a cool anime, classic like anime pose. I love this shit. I love this so much. Also, was that Shadow? Because I thought that was him at first channeling prismatic energy. But I think that's just Shadow's like chaos energy that he just used. Also, like right here is actually a really fun one too, because when Shadow eventually, he thinks he gets all of them. Because if you watch, you can actually see when they steal shit off of each other. Like you see, he steals that, and right there, you saw Sonic go like this, and then, and I also love how they hide in the back of his shoe so you don't see it.
Now I can enter the gateways just like you.
Oh yeah,
You sure about that?
and he's just mooning Shadow. But also, yeah, also another thing. That's the reason why Shadow hasn't been in any of these other universes is because he can't get into them. He is locked out for whatever reason. Also, he dropped the Chaos Emerald. Let's see, where was it?
Attach the
Chaos Emerald.
Oh yeah, right here. Yep, draws the Chaos Emerald into the void, which is just like the end of, like, they don't know. I guess apparently that's just where everything ends or dies.
Chaos Emerald.
And pretty much Shadow gets stuck there, even seeing when Sonic starts teleporting around. Eventually, like, even here, like, Shadow eventually does get the tech. But I did kind of figure out, like, why he wouldn't be able to use it. Or at least this bit. Oh, yeah, hold on. He just slams Shadow into everything.
Give me back my tech.
Shadow's also the Egg Empire is now traveling different worlds. And like this, I'll get into the main story. But Shadow tries to get in, can't. Which I kind of figured was gonna be the case. Also, I feel like this is supposed to hint at like him like shattering different realities. Maybe. Like, if anything, the reason why Shadow probably, because I don't know, because I think if he's in a ship, he would be able to travel into it, or I wonder if he can't. And it's because you probably need you would probably need a version of yourself in each dimension, I'd imagine, to be able to travel to that dimension. I'm guessing is kind of the rule of the Shatterverse. Because that's why you see Shadow literally shattering when he almost gets through, or he tries to push himself through. And like we say, like, well, what about Sonic? He doesn't have alternate ones. He's generating the shatter energy. So he can travel through whatever the hell he wants. But I think Shadow is limited because he teleported out before being shattered. So there aren't alternate versions of. Which, I'm not going to lie, I love when Sonic realizes. I love when Sonic just does not believe this is actually Shadow.
Fine, 9. Maybe 9 will pass through and I can catch a ride. Ugh, you again?
Him just flying around.
Yes, you're grumpy Shadow. All Although that would be redundant. Shadow who needs a shower. Sheriff Shadow of Floating Rock World.
And Shadow just not putting up with his shit. I'm gonna go through more of the series. I just wanted to cut the little cute clips I have here.
Stuck in here, and it's all your fault, Sonic.
His eyes look brown there.
Yeah, what else is new? Wait, how do you know my name? Unless... Shadow, you're you! The real you!
The only me.
And here's the thing I really love too. Again, Sonic is badass and he has beaten Shadow a lot. But really, if you did a fist-to-fist fight, Shadow would probably win. Oh, God. Okay. I have so many notes. All right, but yeah, so pretty much the setup of this is that Shadow is stuck in the Shatterverse. The Egg Empire is currently trying to take shards from other worlds. Sonic and Shadow have to team up, which...
I guess that makes me kind of special, right?
Why didn't it work? I saw 9 give you the tech. In the lab, you kicked up the prismatic energy when you ran fast and crossed over into the void.
Oh yeah, did I say it? Yeah, like, I knew Shadow wouldn't be able to do it because Shadow can't generate the energy, and also, you know, you can see his shoes and stuff change. Which, on one hand, kind of sucks. I was kind of hoping maybe Sonic was going to learn a little bit more how to control the Shatter energy, and then we would see Shadow, like very much he would have to charge up the tech for Shadow to travel into the other universes, and then we would see Shadow gain some new shoes and stuff too, because that'd be kind of badass. We sadly no, but still.
I just assumed it was the tech. But it's something else. It's you.
I guess that makes me kind of special, right?
I want those, I want those.
The only way to fix the reality you shattered is if we work together.
I love these two so much.
Wow. Coming from you, that's, well, not like you at all. Man, you must really hate having to admit you need me.
These two, I love them.
Need me.
Sure, I'm big enough to admit that, but not as much as you need me.
Is he smiling? I feel like that's him smiling. Or is that just like indifferent? But it looks like he's smiling a little. I'm gonna go with he's smiling. And he's like, yeah, fine. Now he's like, yeah, he is smiling, just a tiny bit. Okay, so Egg Empire. Okay, so I can actually get to the actual thing. I'm sorry, I had to watch some.
I won't let you down, Shadow. Together, we're gonna fix this.
And by that, I mean Sonic's gonna do most of it, and Shadow's gonna help when they're in the void, pretty much. But pretty much Egg Empire is going to different worlds that we've already seen, because it looks like there's only going to be maybe 6 worlds. Let's see, because there's... Also, I love how the names are like... Was it... shit, I can't remember the names. But each of the names, like, was it Boscow, like, Maze, or Unknown Sea, stuff like that. Like, I got them all wrong. I know I did. But, like the New York City, and then we have the Void, and then we have Phantom Hill, and then we have the Black... Or, yeah, Phantom Hill... Let's see, New York. Shit. Hold on. The battery. So, Sonic, Shadow, Silver. Yeah, so pretty much the New York are going to the different worlds, trying to take the shards, and it's pretty much a battle. It's pretty much of Sonic meeting up with his alternate universe friends and teaming up to fight the Eggman. And like, it's actually really cool because like, first season was more setting up, obviously, the characters and, like, having them grow. And then this one, it's about like, them all coming kind of together. And eventually even meeting each other. Where we get some really cool interactions with, like, Rusty, was it Rusty Rose and Pirate Amy. We get those two meeting up, and I'm like, oh shit! And they actually like work together, like again, like kind of like sisters, like working together, like perfectly synced up. Eventually, even meet like a Primal Rose, which I'm like, hell yes. And they just like they all sync up real well, fighting with each other. We see when like Rebel Knuckles meets the Dread Knuckles, and it's like, oh my god, like them fighting each other. Like one of my favorite lines that Sonic brings up is what did he say? He's like, what's the best way to win a fight with, not with a pair of knuckles? I'm like, yes, I love that line. We have like there's a lot about this season is a lot about like characters meeting a version of themselves. The characters meeting different versions of themselves. Like we kind of got a little bit of that with when Rusty visited the pirate world, but other than that, we didn't really get much of that. This one we actually got like a lot of it, and it's like certain character points where again like the Roses are able to immediately like get together well with each other. The Knuckles are knuckleheaded and will fight each other. Then you have what's the really cool one is 9, because a lot of this one, which you can kind of telling me like, especially with Sonic like telling Shadow like you don't know him, man, like he's awesome, he's cool, and he's my friend. You even know spoilers that something's gonna happen with 9, where he's gonna kind of in a way betray Sonic, or vice versa in a sense, where Sonic sees Tails, 9 just sees my friend, my big brother thing, and like he wants to be with me specifically. And I love that dynamic as well, especially when 9 does meet, well, kind of at least sees like his other versions of himself. And it's like he questions like if he's actually himself or something like that. And especially at one point where Sonic and them are talking, and like Sonic eventually says that, what his plans for the crystals are. Spoilers, I guess, for that. And like he straight says like, we can fix my original world. And 9's like, I didn't do this to fix your world. I did this so we could make a new world together. Like, why have an old world when we can make our own? And he's like, no, 9, I want my world. Like, we can still have our world. And 9's like, no, you just want to pretty much replace. And he's like, I thought you'd see things like, like the real Tails. And as soon as he said real Tails, I'm like, that is the worst thing you could have said to 9. Because 9 is going to feel 100% betrayed there. And yeah, pretty much. He's like, I am real. And God, oh my God, it was so good. Like that whole line was so good. Let me see here. Sonic not getting this is prime. Shadow is great. Sonic going big brother on Shadow over 9. Yeah, Shadow biting off the tech. Yep, I love that part. Shadow doesn't generate the shatter energy, so the disc probably won't work. Yeah. You see when Sonic steals them. Okay, I'm covering a lot of these notes I put up. Shadow's able to forever. Oh yeah, at one point Sonic was able to save Shadow after he almost went into the void. And like, oh wait, that seems actually in here, I think. Should be. Oh yeah, it's right here. Cause that's the thing too, they're fighting, but Sonic's like, you're still my friend, you dumbass. It's always right after they say that they wake up.
I'm exhausted. You're not dead. You're welcome. On the bright side, I'll get to hold this over you forever.
Sonic is 100% way more childish in this than he is in like a lot of other incarnations. He's way more childish, and it's really funny. Oh yeah, at one point when they're fighting, Shadow even goes, "Come at me, bro." A lot of people say "bro" in this one. Baby boss fight. Yeah, when they fight in a secret handshake. Oh yeah, at one point Nine has to like modify the disc that way him and Sonic can talk with each other like communicators. And he's like, "Dude, is this a secret handshake? We really need to learn how to do a secret handshake together." And like Sonic is just being the best big brother he really could. Also, Dread at one point when he gets his blue shard, he can shoot lightning out of his sword, which I thought was badass. Rose Sisters, game manual instructions. Right, it was kind of like in like the Sonic movie where there was a game manual for Stone to read to work the machine. There's one of those in this one. High five is cute. Oh yeah, when he high fives Rusty because Rusty doesn't know how to do it, and then she's like, yeah. Or I think she high fived the other Rose, right? Dreaded Roses. Sonic Adventure catch. At one point, Sonic jumps in the air, catches it. But pretty much, like, this entire season is so good. The characterization is so awesome when we do see Shadow. Which Shadow isn't through a lot of this, because he is, like, stuck in the void. Whenever he does pop up, it is really good. It is really fun to see that. Even, like, and, like, again, everything with Nine visiting his other selves. It's so fun. Like, seeing that and, like seeing the realization on his face. Like, oh, shit. I like that also seeing Nine, like, be, like, that little brother thing. Because, again, I kind of referenced it a little bit earlier. But, like, Nine at one point where the rebels are, where back in New York, Sonic's trying to fight his way to save Nine and get the shards back. Because, spoilers, the bad guys win a lot in this season. When trying to get the shards back, the Eggmen find out if you have 3 shards, you can use those shards to build machines or rewire or recreate things, which is really funny because one of the biggest issues I had with Sonic Boom was the reuse of like the same robot over and over and over again when it's supposed to be a new one. I'm like, really? This one, it kind of does that, but it makes sense why they do it. It's like, okay, this one's bigger, it's slightly different design, and it's more power because it's powered by shard energy. And like that stuff was like, okay, I understand that. He didn't even say the recycling. But again, like what I was saying, like Tails or Nine goes little brother like you'll never be able to defeat Sonic. He's faster than you. He's quicker on his feet. You can't think like him. And as soon as he said that, and then Robotnik or Eggman goes, I know what to do now. I'm like, no, you're not. No, you wouldn't. You're like, would you? Like, we already have Shadow here, but also on that same note, like, who else would you make? Because you need someone who's as fast as Sonic. You need someone who can think like Sonic. You need Metal Sonic. And when I saw Metal, I'm like, oh my god, Metal! That's not Metal. I don't know where Metal. I looked for him. I could not find Metal Sonic. I don't know where I put him. But I have a Metal Sonic figure. But Metal is in this. Metal Sonic is. I'm like, oh my god. Technically speaking, his name is Chaos. Chaos Sonic, but it's Metal. It's Metal Sonic down to like even like kind of how his body design. The only difference being he has an LED screen face or eyes, and he talks, which I'm not gonna lie. Him talking, which the whole idea is that he's supposed to be a more annoying version of Sonic, and Sonic to kind of meet another version of himself that talks and everything. I get it. I 100% get it. Like the childishness, like is dialed to like 11 with Chaos Sonic or that version of Metal. I get it. Also, like it is. I will say though, like without there being Chaos Emeralds being the main part of this, like the Egg Empire calling them like a Chaos Council or like naming the Chaos Sonic. I'm like, why exactly? Because like Chaos isn't really playing a big part in this story. But anyways, yeah, like I like honestly like here's the thing too because I brought up in the first season about the worlds are like like CGI, to make a CGI show, like you need to have the assets or whatever, and then a lot of times you have to reuse a lot of assets. That's why certain worlds like the maze, it's, you know, just all trees, all plants everywhere, because it's easier to just, you know, copy and paste these giant ass trees that you made. Or the ocean one's another easy one to do if you want. Easy one to do, you know, big open water. You don't really have to do much with it other than a few islands. So boom, assets there, save. New York is probably the one where they threw like the most assets and shit into it. Even like the Void is, you know, long desert. Or here, it's or is it called the Void where 9 wants to make? I can't remember. I think it is. And then there's, you know, here where I think this is the Void. I can't remember what 9's world was supposed to be called. Oh, the Grim. That's what I meant to say. Every time I was saying the Void, the other time I meant the Grim. At least for 9's world. But the Void, you know, it's open space pretty much. You need to have crystals shining everywhere. Like, they use their budget well. Like, New York is probably the one where there's the most assets put into it. And then, like, those buildings pop up later on when the Egg Empire tries to take over. But, Sonic and shit, like, I'm trying to think of, like, all the things. Hold on. But, like, yeah, like, it's, let's see here. They can use shards and bigger robots. Yeah, like, them creating, like, Metal Sonic 1 was really cool, because I've seen that fight. I'm like, yeah, that's badass. Not gonna lie, though, with him talking, it did make this Metal Sonic a little bit less, like, oh, man, I can't, like, oh, he's so badass, and more like, okay, I get it. God damn it. But it's still freaking cool seeing him. And it still was cool seeing someone who matched Sonic almost beat for beat. Because, yeah, as soon as Eggman said, like, with the data I collected on your hedgehog friend, I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, no. And when Metal popped up, I'm like, hell yes. I love this so much. And again, like, you know, the Sonic fans are the ones who made this. From, like, all the poses. There's literally a scene, it's not in the first episode, though, where Sonic's fighting a robot, and he does, hold on. Sonic. Wait, what is this? Oh, Sonic fan film. Let me see. It's like, you could tell the guys the people who made this love Sonic, or at least did their research a lot. Like this scene right here, the slowdown with the hand up to, like, kind of push himself. It's like, you see, like, he does at one point, and I'm like, oh my god, it's so good. Hell, even this scene, where the smile and everything, actually, it's more like, maybe like here. Because, another big spoiler, we do get a new super form. Though, super form. Well, no, it is. It is 100% super form, because his eyes change color, and that's usually the signifying that he gained, it's a different form, a different transformation. Because he turns into Shatter Sonic, or Prism Sonic. One of the two. I think Shatter Sonic probably sounds cooler. That's mostly towards the end, though. I'm gonna regret saving. Oh, yeah. But that's a little bit ahead. But, like, God. There's a point where Shadow saves Sonic, and Shadow goes, I'm gonna regret saving you, aren't I? And he goes, I love you too, Shadow. Prism Sonic. Amy meets each other. Feral Tails, Knuckles versus Knuckles. It's Metal. Oh, yeah. They're, like, literally, like, my notes, I write these notes immediately. Recycle, you know, for the recycling robots. 9 saying how badass Sonic is, going full little brother. Metal Sonic? Question mark, exclamation mark. Like that whole little thing. When they said, like, you know, with the data, I'm like, Metal Sonic? And then Sonic easily tricked by, like, a voice changer. And then the next one, it's Metal! I don't know if you can see that or not, but I was like, it's Metal! It's so good. And then, like, here's some bits where, like, I looked at it, I'm like, again, this is the very childish Sonic. This Sonic, I think, is way more childish than, like, majority of the other Sonics I've seen. Maybe, like, Sad AM would probably be as childish as this Sonic is. But even then, like, there's this bit right here. Tell me this does not look like the Sonic we all know. Like, when he gets pissed off. This is him in Shatter form, FYI. Where, like, he like, glows purplish, but then also has, like, all these auras. Which is funny, because there's, like, a proto-Shatter form. Where he's moving way faster when he gets charged up with the energy. To the point where... He, like, it's almost like he's able to talk to himself, and even, like, he's so fast, he gives him a high five, and it's like he is all of his alternate selves, kind of thing, and it's so cool when he does that. But yeah, like, this season is so damn good, like, oh my god. Like, there's no, like, other than, like, the shadow form, other than, like, the shattered form, and like the shatter boost, there isn't like new like glove abilities or anything like that. If anything, like, which, you know, like, first season was all about setup for the glove abilities. Actually, I don't think we've like, the only new gloves that we saw were like the blueprint ones, because apparently Green Hill Zone is currently in like a blueprint state, so that's why his gloves kind of took on that similar feature of being a blueprint. And also, it's pretty much setting up that, yeah, like, because, like, Sonic things, like Shadow things, like, we're gonna fix this and everything's gonna go back to being one world. Sonic's like, no, we're gonna have it to where it's still a shattered world, but we still want to fix our world. And 9 is just like, no, screw out of the other worlds. I'm just gonna make my world better. Because, yeah, the crystals can build pretty much anything. And, like, he even makes, like, a little, like, hammock and everything for Sonic and everything in his world, in the Grim. But... God, this was so good. Seeing Shadow in there was just so badass, and like his characterization is honestly really cool. He's not just like, I hate Sonic. He is a rival, but he's also like, there is that rivalry, but also a friendship. Like, again, they're very brotherly. Like, I want to say, maybe more, who knows? But yeah, very brotherly. Like, also I get like some things that I kind of. And, like, this is why I say, like, oh, this is Prime Sonic. This is the main Sonic from the main games. Again, iffy on that note. I definitely say this is a variant of Sonic if you want to go multiverse style. But, like, and I say that because, like, Shadow doesn't really seem to have too much of, like, a connection with Rouge. Which there should be, because Rouge is, like, one of his best friends. And then also on the flip of that, like, Sonic going, this is why you don't have any friends, Shadow. It's like... Dude, like, his best friend was the girl they grew up with that was killed on the ark. Probably don't be an asshole to him about that. That's why I'm just like, there's some details that are a little bit iffy on that note. If anything, this feels like the Sonic that, like, came off of, like, the original 1, 2, and 3. Like, without any of, like, the more content. Like, yeah, adventure must have happened at some point for Shadow to be there. But, like, that's kind of how I feel. And also, I wonder if, like, with the void being destruction or whatever, like, is there going to be another world there? Are we going to see other characters? I was not expecting Metal Sonic. But, by God, how cool would it be if they go into the void and they find Mephiles? It wouldn't make it, like, a sense. It'd be, like, third season, which is the end. But, yeah, because it looks like Tails is probably going to be the main bad guy. Not main bad guy, but something like that. Along the lines. Also, Chaos Eggman. Or Shattered Eggman. Shattered Egg. But yeah, this season was so good. And honestly, I'm wondering now, when is season 3 of Sonic Prime going to come out? Season 3 of Sonic Prime. Okay, Sonic Prime 3, Season 3 has no official release date right now, but we expect it to drop sometime in 2024. Okay, that makes sense. But, God, I'm trying to think of anything I missed. It's harder with, I can't bring up all the clips. But, God, this season was so good. Like, obviously Season 1 was more setup. It's set up for the characters of the Shatterverse. It's set up for, 9. It's set up for all these things. Like, there wasn't even, like, any 2D things like the first season where it was, like, they had the classic, like, 8-bit stuff. They didn't. It was not or 64-bit. They didn't have any of that with it. I just noticed, but you know, it had its own things. Like a lot of it was like showing like okay, when Eggman separated the worlds or separated their world into 5 districts, or when not what 9 did when he went to the Grim the first time, and you know he found his the shard from there. So like I think there's 5 Shatterverse in total. There's the Ghost Hill, there's New York City, there's Pirate World, there's Forest World, and then there's the Grim. So there's 5 worlds, so there's 5 shards. I guess I didn't want to go with 6. Which again, I think I said this in this first one too. I love expanding on Sonic lore, especially on certain aspects. So I like when, again, I brought up Ben 10 because Ben 10 annoyed the shit out of me when Ultimate Alien was going to be like, we're going to tie all of mutants, magic, and all this stuff into being all aliens. I'm like, that's stupid. Like, that's stupid. You had a world that's so filled with different things, and you do like that. What I want to see, though, especially with Sonic, is different crystals. Or again, like, you have the Chaos Emeralds, which are badass. But now you have stuff like the Phantom Ruby, which is freaking bad, or the Warp Topaz, which also looks very similar to the Phantom Ruby. Maybe that's part of a set. Who knows? And then you have stuff like this where you have the crystals. Like, I love the idea of like different crystals of power living in Sonic's worlds. I love that a lot. Like, that honestly feels right. And like, not saying like, and like, the thing is that can be added along with wisps. Like, you don't have to like say, oh no, wisps are actually crystal creatures or some shit. Like, no. But I like that, I would like more to see stuff like that in the game. So that, honestly, I'm debating whether I should just start playing Sonic Frontiers for some of my streams. I might do that. While the Sonic hype is up right now. But yeah, this season was so good. Let me just make sure I got everything right. Because 9 was so good. Again, every time he saw one of his alternate selves is so good. Shattered Sonic is so good. Like, again, just looking at that looks like a cutscene from one of the games. Right when you're about to beat the shit out of the bad guys. Let's see. It's Metal Sonic, which is so badass. This is badass to see him. Mind you, I think the metal fight in... actually, I wonder if 9's going to take the pieces of Metal Sonic and, like, make his own Sonic, pretty much. Just to, like, replace regular Sonic or something. But... Sonic. Come at me, bro. Shadow's shoes not changing. Crystals. Oh yeah, and like we also saw like Shadow. Like a lot of this was like showing what happened while Sonic was having his adventure in season 1. What happened with other characters? What happened with 9? What happened with Eggman's before that? What happened with Sonic? Also, when Eggman's used the Big Boy Pants Protocol, and summoned the Primal Being, which was Eggman himself, but like Shatterverse Giant. I think it was like a Prismatic Titan, as 9 called it. So I guess that would be Prismatic Sonic when he goes super. God, it's just so good. Especially just seeing Sonic and Shadow fight each other, like seeing 2 ahead, and seeing like versus Metal is really good. And I can see because it's so cool how, you know, like there's a forest level in like Sonic games. There's a water level in Sonic games. There's and also you saw, and the cool thing is when he was underwater, you saw like bubbles coming up out of the ground. So like it's like very much like, okay, those are the bubbles that he would usually breathe. You have, you know, like the different, like each Shatterverse feels like a different level in a game, and it feels so good. And like, you know, New York is like the Robotropolis ones. Like, it's so good. Go watch this season. It's so damn good. It like Shadow is such a badass in this. I'm really hoping like when Sonic 3 comes out, it's gonna be like he's gonna be just as badass. Like Sonic in this was so cool. I want to see more like glove stuff and like when he goes to the Void World or whatnot. But yeah, it's just so badass. I want to see Shadow also eventually get into some of these worlds. I was again thinking like, couldn't you just ride on one of the ships? But I'm guessing again, if you have to be shattered to enter these worlds, or in Sonic's case, be generating that energy to do it. I don't know. Tons of comments below. Thanks for watching. I just like this a lot. I don't know what else to add here. I love this show so damn much. I was having the ball. The action is so good. Like the movement, the fluidity. Just watching it, because again, you're looking at it and you'll be seeing like the different poses Sonic or Shadow makes are so good. Like it's, and again, like small details like you saw when Sonic steals Shadow's this is the thing off of Shadow's shoes. You'll see, like, again, all little dances or spins and stuff like that. It's so good. I recommend this show a lot. I honestly think it's probably one of the best Sonic shows. Like, legitimately. Like, this is like everything I wanted when Sonic Boom was announced and like they showed like Sonic running through a canyon and fighting Eggman and stuff like that. I'm like, this is pretty much what I wanted Sonic Boom to be. Yeah, I get it. Sonic Boom was more comedy, like, focus. I get that 100%. But this is what I want Sonic to be. I want to see Sonic go on an adventure running fast. I love that the worlds feel like levels in a game. I like that there's multiple times where I'm like, this is a boss fight. Like, it's so good. This show is so badass. And I really can't wait to see more. And, like, I wonder it, because, like, the Chaos Emerald's, like, in the void. So, like, eventually Shadow will have to get that. But also, like, they also showed Sonic going, like, Shatter prismatic form. So I'm wondering, like, is there going to be another form for the end? Or is he just going to go prismatic again eventually? Like, for, like, when there's another big boss fight? Or was this, like, done? And it's like, if there's a Season 3, there's going to be a Season 3. But if this is the end, we're just going to have a big old bang. I don't know. But this is great. I like this a lot. Apparently, there's toys. These aren't toys of them. These are from the movie. But they're toys of Sonic Prime coming out this summer, apparently, which since the season just came out, I'm hoping they're going to hit stores soon. I'm probably going to get some. But yeah, tell me in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Which videos I've done. Links are my Facebook description videos. I like this a lot. Metal Sonic going, you're too slow. And then Sonic eventually gotta go fast. He has to run real fast. It's so good. I love this a lot. I legitimately love it. And it's also funny when, like, they have the crystal. He's like, how am I supposed to run holding this? And, like, it's like, yeah, like, I guess it's not like Chaos Emerald. You just hold them in your hand or, like, you know, make them disappear. Like, they're not using hammer space right now, which is funny. But yeah, this is great. I like it a lot. Tell me in the comments below. Thanks for watching for your videos. Also, it's really, really heartbreaking when, like, Phantom Green Hell Zone, like, reconstitutes itself for a second. And like, Tails, Amy, everyone's like, Sonic? And, like, Sonic's like, guys! And then, like, it all just is taken away from me. I'm like, oh my god, like, you're just hurting so much. Like, it's so good. You see, like, the emotions on Sonic. You see emotions on Shadow. You see emotions on 9. It's so good. It's so good seeing, like, especially with 9 seeing the other version stuff. It's, like, just, mwah. Tell me in the comments below. Thanks for watching the videos, and we will see you later. Gotta go fast. But, God, it's so good. And, like, I want to get a 9 figure. God, I want to get 9 figure. I want to get Sonic with his things. God, it's so good. I hope they come out with, like, the little figures, like, even if it's, like, little metal ones or, like, something like little figures, like, even though they are not articulated at all. Like, kind of like these old Digimon, like, Pokemon toys. Something like that, but, like have Sonic with, like, all his different, like, weapons and, like, different gloves and boots and stuff. I honestly love his shoes being, like, power-ups. This show is just so damn good. I love it.